Anyway, Angelica carries on serving her customers. But Tommy comes over to her and asks if she is going to share the dimes with him and the other babies. And she says, "Dimes? Share my dimes?" And he says, "Yes." She then thinks about it and says, "Well, I'd like to, I really would, but I'm poor and I can't share my dimes or I will be poor. I'm doing this work so that my family can earn some money again. We don't have any because Spike ate all of our money." This, of course, was a lie, so she could keep all the money to herself. "Toto, did you eat all my money?" Did you eat all my money?" "Yeah, of course you did, because you're a good boy, aren't you?" The babies then ask her what poor means, which shows that the babies have no concept of what money is. And Angelica tells them that poor means that you have no money. And they say, "Well, in that case, then I'm poor too." And Phil and Lil says, "Yeah, us too." And they start crying, and Angelica says, wait, you're babies, you don't need money. Grown-ups need money for grown-up things. Like my daddy over there. We are poor, so he is digging for pennies. And then we see Drew in the background pull up a flower and say, "Hey, I got one." The babies then carry on working, and Angelica carries on selling the lemonade. She sells lemonade to a few customers, and soon Susie Carmichael comes along on her bike. And Angelica asks her if she wants a lemonade, and Susie says, "No, I'm not really thirsty." Then Angelica shoves her out of the way and says, "Well, in that case, if you're not buying, you can move along. Time is dimes." Susie then goes over to talk to the babies. And Tommy says, "Hi Susie, I'm sorry, but we can't really talk right now because we're helping Angelica earn some money because her family is poor." And Susie goes, "Poor?" And Tommy says, "Oh yes. Her daddy is over there digging for pennies because they are so poor and Spike ate all their money." And Susie questions this and says, "Poor and digging for pennies?" And Chucky says, "Yes, and it's so sad." Susie then goes over to interrogate Angelica. And she says, "Angelica, are you trying to get out of sharing your money with the babies? And Angelica says, I don't think that's any of your beeswax, which is a polite way of saying it's none of your business. But Susie says, come on, Angelica, tell the truth. Your family's not really poor. And Angelica hesitates and says, well, poor as in... And Susie says, no, Angelica, you're trying to get out of sharing your money with the babies, and that's bad. And Angelica says, fine, my family's not exactly poor, but I'm a grown-up and I need money too. Susie then goes over to the babies again, and she tells them that Angelica has lied to them. And Tommy says, well, what should we do about it? And Susie says, well, if it was me, and I wasn't getting any dimes for all the work I put in, then I'd stop working. Which just shows how sensible and mature Susie is. Susie tells the babies that they need to stand up to Angelica and tell her that if she doesn't share her dimes with them, they are going to stop working for her. Tommy then says, okay, you can be our leader and you can tell Angelica that. And Susie says, no. It has to be one of you babies. And the babies then decide who it should be. And Chucky says, I think Tommy should do it. Lil agrees with this. And then Phil says, I think it should be Reptar. And the other babies give him a look. And he says, or Tommy. So Susie says, well, that settles it then. Tommy's the leader. And this scene with Phil was actually quite funny.